On the other hand, Roma Kalataryan is in the corner with Vánez Martirosyan. He's been part of the team since he was 14 with Vánez Martirosyan. And in the absence of Joe Goosen tonight, will be the chief man in that corner, along with help from Bobby Lee and Dean Campos. Here we go, round one. Martirosyan will be looking to out-hustle Charlo if he can, and Charlo will be looking to out-box Martirosyan if he can. We'll see who can establish the style of this fight and the tempo of this fight. I think Martirosyan would like the faster tempo. Charlo, who looks pretty relaxed in there, would like it probably a little bit slower, utilizing that long left jab of his. He does have the reach advantage here, and that is a key weapon for Charlo. In fact, he says, "I'm in love with my jab." And he plans to make Vánez Martirosyan not in love with his jab. Very important fight for both of these guys. Rich Morata ringside here tonight. Thank you very much for being with us.
Stop!
On this all-star card.
Get your head up.
Martirosyan also, by the way, prior to Joe Goosen, used to work with, as we mentioned, Ronnie Shields, also with Freddie Roach. So he's really had very, very good trainers in his corner throughout his career. A 2004 Olympian has been highly thought of since the beginning of his professional career, but still looking for exclusive first world championship. It is Martirosyan, as we suspected, pushing the pace. Charlo the mover. Jab is the key for Charlo, and Martirosyan's going to have to figure out a way to get around that, to negate that jab. It would seem that out-hustling Charlo is going to be the best chance for Martirosyan. Good right hand by Charlo. Nice. Excellent speed. He got in and out.
Get your head up.
I think that's Charlo's plan here tonight. Right out of the corner, wheels off, side wheels off of the rope. First combination by Charlo. Two jabs followed by the right cross. Martirosyan, he wants to get closer, cutting down that distance, lands the overhand right to the side of the head of Charlo.
Stop! Let go. Get your head up. Get your head up.
Each fighter probing. Both fighters feel that they're much different than they were when they sparred so many rounds together back when they were part of the same team in Houston. Final seconds of round one. Good left hook by Martirosyan, gets Charlo into a corner. There's the bell to end round one.
All right, son, how we feeling? Good. All right? All right, the first round is down, okay? Now we got the first round out of the way. Now listen, every time you double jab him, he goes straight back. He drops that left hand. The right hand is going to be there, okay? But you got to get a little bit more aggressive with him, okay? You got to, look.
But round up the khalas, the goana, you have to fill the round, okay? Mi թողիրան մնա։ Դու միշտ իրանից ավելի շատ ես անում։ Okay, միշտ իրանից ավելի շատ ես անում։ Ցավը տանը, միշտ։ Okay, գիտեմ ինչ ես ասում։ Չեմ ուզում եմ անես։ Գիտեմ կրել ես, բայց այսպես պահում ենք, այս նույն տեմպով, okay? We've been here before. We can do this.
Second time.
Round two. Vánez Martirosyan in the black trunks. And in the red, white, and blue trunks is Джермелл Чарло. One of the Charlo twins who were born a minute apart. And their professional boxing careers have taken parallel paths as well. Although Джермелл, who we're seeing here, is considered the pure boxer, and Джермелл, his brother, is considered the puncher in the family. Martirosyan did well in the waning seconds of the round by closing the distance on Charlo. Charlo might have been a little bit nervous, but judging from what Ronnie Shields was telling him in the corner, saying, okay, we got the first round, it's out of the way, it's out of the way, now it's now settle down and get into it. Mартиросян said, as a result of his experience and watching Charlo since they've grown as professionals, that Charlo is an excellent boxer, but that he's a basic boxer. Uses the jab. It's kind of a 1-2-3 attack. You might double up with the jab, then the right hand following up behind it. There's that jab. Mартиросян to the body. Well, Charlo was claiming that it was
it's
a
right
low
here.
blow,
This
but I
is a
did
fair
not really
punch right
see
here.
that as a
Let's
low
go,
blow.
let's go.
I don't agree with Charlo that was low. Certainly nothing to complain to the official about. You know, for guys who were together as teenagers, considered themselves almost family, things got very intense at the weigh-in yesterday between the two. The pose-offs that they have the fighters do got a little bit too close for comfort, and finally they were broken apart, although no blows were struck, but Mартиросяn then kind of chased them across the stage as well after the two had weighed in. That got to be a little dramatic and a little bit intense. Nice right hand to the body by Mартиросяn. You could probably hear that. I think Mартиросяn needs to pick up his punch output. This is a very good pace for Charlo. One in which he can just jab, stay relaxed out at center ring, and then throw that 1-2 with the left jab and the right following it. Nice right hand over the top. Charlo left that left jab out there a little bit too long, and Mартиросяn made him pay for it with that right hand. End of round 2. There we see the great trainer, Virgil Hunter, also the trainer of Andre Ward, and Andre Berto, who made a successful return to the ring. Now part of the Virgil Hunter stable. Berto working himself back into the loop once again and then back into the mix. A couple rows behind, you might see Wayne McCullough up there in the upper right-hand corner, former bantamweight champion. There's the good jab by Charlo, but then he left it out there too long, and Mартиросяn with that overhand right, good counter, good punch by Vánez, his best punch so far of the fight. Here we go into round 3. Vánez Mартиросяn, screen right. Looks as though he's a little more intent on throwing a little bit more in terms of his output of punches in this round. I think that pace was it was very comfortable for Charlo in that last round, and Mартиросяn has to make it more uncomfortable for him. He's able to just stand there and throw the jab out. Mартиросяn is not a big puncher. He's certainly not a brawler by any means, but it would seem likely that he's a hard right by Charlo, his best punch so far. Charlo has a tendency to almost lull his opponents to sleep, and I think that's what happened there with Mартиросяn. I must say that these two fighters have sparred many rounds with each other since they were together for a couple of years, and so far this fight has been more like a sparring session and probing session by the two. They're going to have to get a little meaner in there. Jermell showing some upper body movement, side to side movement. bending at the waist. Mартиросян, a lot of up and down on his toes, trying to find a rhythm. Rhythm can be interrupted by a jab, and that's what's happened here tonight so far. You see it once again, the jab from Čarlo. Čarlo does not double and triple up in his jab very often. And it seems like he might be able to time that jab. Mартиросян might be able to time that jab since he usually just throws the one at a time. Left hand to the body by Mартиросян. He's done some good work to the body. Mартиросяn lives in Glendale, California. He's of Armenian descent in Glendale, California, which is a large conclave of Armenian population, American Armenian population in Southern California. Good work defensively there by Čarlo. And as he was backing away through that wild left, and it kind of slipped off the face of Mартиросяn. Taking a look in the dressing room of Gary Russell Jr. About to get his hands taped and gloved. Want to stretch that hand out and fist out, get it ready, and here goes the taping. Russell supremely confident. Felt that he made a mistake in the last fight when he fought Lomachenko by employing a strength and conditioning coach who was new to their routine, which kind of interrupted what their routine was, and he feels he needed to go back to just his regular team and regular way of training this time. He said he kind of regrets making that move in the past, but a lot of fighters, of course, have gone into that. But he said, you know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And that was the mistake I made. But we'll see if he does better here tonight in his second opportunity for a world championship. But right now, we're looking at two fighters who are angling to try to get a world championship opportunity in round 4, scheduled for 10. Váneš Mартиросян.
Let go.
Screen left right now, and Джермелл Čarlo rushing him to the ropes in the red, white, and blue trunks. His back to you. Čarlo wild with that left. He's not usually a fighter who throws wild punches. Mартиросяn trying to pick up the pace here a little bit. I believe that would be the proper strategy for him. Slower the pace, the better for Čarlo. Nice right hand by Čarlo. He's being allowed to keep this comfortable pace by Mартиросяn. Needs to pick up his volume of punches. Russell Moore, the third man in the ring. We're at the Palms Hotel, Las Vegas, Nevada. Rich Morata ringside. Glad you're with us on this international show tonight. World Championship boxing still to come. Johnny Gonzalez against Gary Russell. Mартиросяn trying to get his jab to work, but clearly the better jabber tonight has been Čarlo, and he can surprise Mартиросяn with that right hand behind the jab. One punch at a time for Mартиросяn is not going to get it done. Missed with the left, missed with the right, missed with the overhand right there. Chasing Čarlo up against the ropes, he'd be well founded to put him in that corner if he could, or against the ropes. I'm sure Čarlo feels the ropes are not his friend here tonight. Now Mартиросяn punching a little more frequently. Good right hand by Mартиросяn. Strong right by Váneš. Came with speed. Follows it up with a jab. Let's see if he can pounce on the advantage or if it will just be momentary. Good left. Now Martirosyan is beginning to find the distance and find the target. Nice right to the body. Martirosyan now having a better round. Charlo misses with that right.
Listen, one fucking right hand ain't gonna fucking do it. You sitting there trying to hit him and knock him out with one fucking punch, and it's not doing it. You understand? If you want to win the goddamn fight, you gotta get out there and you gotta throw some fucking punches to win the goddamn fight. You ain't gonna win the fight running around doing nothing. You understand? That's not how you win this fight.
All right, the language very salty and to the point by Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. There you see what he's referring to, throwing the right hand. Now, in that case, it was very successful for Charlo. He did land that strong right hand. But later in the round, it was beginning to turn in favor of Martirosyan, who set up that right hand with his left jab, followed it, very strong punch by Vanness, and then Charlo acknowledging, okay, you got me.
Seconds out.
Much better round, the third round for Vanness Martirosyan. Although this is pretty much what you'd consider an elimination fight. I mean, you've got the number 1 and number 2 guys in some of the rankings fighting each other here. It is not an official world title eliminator. Therefore, this is a 10-round fight, not a 12.
Let go. Chin up.
Although logic would lead you to believe that, you know, whoever wins this fight is the guy that's in line for a world title opportunity. Boy, that was a strong talking to that Jermell Charlo got between rounds from Ronnie Shields. Now maybe Charlo's going to pick up his own work output.
There you go. Now shoot off that face. Shoot off that face. You got to call for it all day long.
Charlo actually backing up Martirosyan here momentarily. That's unusual. Certainly not what we expected. But Charlo putting his jab back to work again. And throwing punches with more frequency here. And he's got Martirosyan a little off balance in this round. After Martirosyan had closed the third round with that strong minute. Martirosyan has not been able to carry that advantage over here into the fourth. Excuse me, into the fifth. Martirosyan trying to fake Charlo into a mistake there. Charlo answering right back, though, with his long left jab. No question, Charlo's best good right hand by Martirosyan to the side of the head of Charlo. His best weapon is that jab. He snakes it out there. It's very quick. There you see it again. Charlo's jab is not what you'd call a thudding punch, but it is a stinging jab. And it has the ability to keep a fighter like Martirosyan, or anyone really, off balance or in a position where it's difficult to get in and pile up a sustained attack. Martirosyan kind of showing him that right hand, waving it a little in front of him, but he's not letting it go. Final seconds of round 5. Good bounce back round for Jermell Charlo, who let his left jab control this round.
A good solid round, baby.
Now we look at Jermell Charlo, who won a 10-round unanimous decision, as you saw earlier this evening. He is now undefeated at 21-0. Fought Michael Finney earlier tonight. And Charlo, as you saw earlier, utilizing great combination punching and much greater power than his opponent Michael Finney, dominated all the way, won on all three scorecards by a count of 190. And Jermell is the harder puncher of the two. The guy we're watching right now, Jermell, is considered the better boxer of the two, although I certainly have no argument with the boxing ability as shown earlier tonight by Jermell, who's focused and intense on this fight as he watches his twin brother, separated by 1 minute at birth. Two fighters came out and started to fight before the bell sounded. Good left hand there by Mартиросян as they mix it up early here in round 6, scheduled for 10. Good left hook by Chарло. Chарлlo was very disappointed. He was supposed to fight for the WBO title in his last fight, but a dispute over the purses ended up with Demetrius Andrade pulling out of that fight. And he hopes tonight to really will show that he deserves to be in that kind of a title fight. And Chарлlo there
Give me gloves.
holds up as Mартиросян slips off balance.
Let him go. Let him go. Stop. Get your head up. Don't push him down.
Mартиросяn has suffered one loss in his career, that to Andrade, despite scoring a knockdown in that fight in the first round. Good left hook by Chарлlo. And now Mартиросяn is allowing himself to get out punched here a little bit by Chарлlo. Chарлlo throwing that left jab with more frequency and is landing a few more power punches than he had earlier. Mартиросяn shaking his head, coming forward. Takes a left hook from Chарлlo. And another one. Jermell looking quite sharp in this round, as he did in the previous round. Put right by Mартиросян, evaded at the last moment by Chарлlo. Boy, that's a good jab by Jermell Charlo. I don't think you're going to see Jermell scoring many KOs during the course of his career. He has 13 to his credit right now out of 25 wins. But with this style and the better competition that he's facing, he has the looks of a guy whose wins are going to be accomplished at the distance. An excellent jab.